Imagine hiring a brilliantly qualified professor, walking them right into a lecture hall, and telling them their only job for the entire semester is to just stand at the podium and read the textbook out loud, word for word.
Yeah, that would be a complete waste of their potential.
Exactly. And yet, that is basically how most university department heads are misusing AI avatars today. Welcome to today's deep dive. Our mission today is to help you shift your perspective on these tools using Moustapha Diack's manuscript on scaffolding presence,
Because we need to move away from viewing avatars as these flashy cosmetic content deliverers and start treating them as essential pedagogical infrastructure.
creating a true ecosystem of scaffolding for your students. Because when an avatar just dictates text that is already sitting right there on the screen, it actually hurts the learning process, right?
It really does. It creates what the author calls cognitive congestion. The learner is suddenly forced to reconcile two completely identical streams of information.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, instead of helping, it spikes their cognitive load and just fragments their attention.
It's like trying to listen to an audio track while reading the exact same transcript at the exact same time. It's exhausting.
Exactly. So if duplication is the enemy here, the avatar's real job must be to complement the material, giving it a unique purpose. Take the doctoral course mentioned in the research, the AI-enhanced academic writing class. The avatars there don't just reread the syllabus verbatim.
Thank goodness.
They actually step in to clarify the overarching purpose of an assignment, or they explain why a specific reading matters.
Okay, so if I'm a department head trying to avoid this cognitive congestion, what are the top 3 design principles I should be looking at?
Number one, avatars should clarify purpose, not just decorate the content.
Makes sense.
Number two, they should complement existing representations, not duplicate them. And number three, they need to reduce cognitive fragmentation rather than just increasing the media noise.
Okay, so the avatar isn't a narrator, it's a guide. And the manuscript says it needs to guide students across 5 dimensions of support, right? Orientation, cognitive organization, motivation, reflection, and belonging.
That's the framework, yes.
But wait, hold on. If we give learners this much hand-holding across all 5 of those dimensions, aren't we just building a massive crutch?
What do you mean?
How do they ever become independent? We want self-sufficient learners, not students who just freeze the second the avatar goes offline.
That dependency is exactly what the fading principle prevents.
Dating.
Yeah, the scaffolding is temporary by design. Think of it like training wheels on a bicycle. The goal isn't to leave them on forever. You elevate them slightly as the rider gains momentum, right? Until the student realizes they're balancing on their own. So as the learner's independence and agency grow, the AI guidance deliberately recedes.
So the tool is literally designed to dismantle itself.
It is. And the way that applies to the concept of belonging is especially clever.
How?
The need for belonging fades the least out of all 5 dimensions, but its source slowly migrates.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so early in the semester, the avatar might be the one checking in to build confidence. But as the semester progresses, the avatar steps back and the student anchors themselves into the actual human learning community.
That is fascinating. But wait, if the scaffolding is supposed to disappear, who holds the remote control? If an algorithm arbitrarily hits some metric threshold and cuts off support for, say, an ESL student way too early, the whole system fails.
Which is exactly why fading requires human pedagogical judgment. It isn't just an automated feature toggle on a dashboard. Human educators have to stay in the loop to know if a specific cohort needs more support or if a struggling learner requires an intervention.
Because human judgment is also the final check for equity. As a department head, you already know the nightmare of retrofitting a digital course for accessibility.
Oh, absolutely.
So if GDI principles, justice, equity, diversity, inclusion, things like multilingual support and screen reader compatibility, if those aren't baked into the avatar's deployment from day one, it's not real scaffolding.
No, it's not. It's just a flashy barrier actively bypassing the exact students who need it the most. The AI supports the human educator. It never replaces them.
So your goal as a department head isn't just adding more media. It's about evaluating what kind of human learning your AI tools actually make possible.
Precisely.
Which leaves us with this to chew on. If a perfectly designed AI avatar is built to gradually fade away and make itself completely obsolete to the learner, how should that temporary nature change the way we invest in and design the permanent digital campuses of the future?
That is the million-dollar question.
Do we keep paying for that brilliant professor just to stand in the room, or do we build systems designed to eventually let the student take the podium?